How did you get into product management?
Cool. Yeah, so I actually kind of came from retail as well. So I started at Amazon as a brand specialist or vendor manager one, and I worked with Microsoft and Logitech. So to your point, vendor management, that's what I did before. My background is in supply chain management. Then I went into a supply chain manager role, and I took a step back to figure out what are the things that I really liked about each of those roles. And also I kept hearing the term PM pop up around a lot. And I didn't know what PM actually was. So, you have program manager, you have product, you have project manager. And I went to my manager and said, all right, time for a new role. I want to be a PM. And he was like, what kind of PM? I didn't know. I was like, I just know that that's like the new hot role. So he encouraged me to go talk to other product managers, program managers to figure out what was the thing that was right for me. So based on loving that go-to-market strategy, being able to work on things that customers could be able to play with, figuring out what are things that they wanted to see, tweaking our product detail pages, working with our vendor managers or even our vendors to see what products they were launching. I really enjoyed that piece, but also giving them feedback on, you all should probably do this a little differently, or this is actually a really cool feature people don't even know about. Here's how you can better market it. So that was something I really enjoyed. But then as an in-stock manager, I love the cross collaboration that I was able to do with different teams. I love the project management aspect of it. And that's also what a product manager does. So I took those things and started looking for roles that kind of fit some of that, but also I could leverage my background. So I found a team that was focused in operations. So I could kind of go to them and say, hey, your job description says that I need to be able to work with customers and work with vendor managers. I've done that. I need project management skills. I have done that as well. Looks like this is within operations. No one on your team has that background, but I do. So kind of leveraging my different experiences and figuring out things that were of interest to me helped me to transition to that product manager role.
Nice. Well, so many great tips there. I love how you just kind of went out and got it. And like, it sounds like a lot of networking internally at Amazon. You also mentioned that I read one of your blog posts about 5 things that you learned working at Amazon. Can you talk a little bit about those? I think you have a lot of great gems in there.
Yeah, someone asked me about these recently, and one of the ones that sticks out to a lot of people, at least I try to say that it doesn't even have to be a product manager, but it's really a networking piece. People that you work with today are going to be moving around to different teams or different companies, to leverage your network within your team. But then also get involved. I'm heavily involved in the Black Employee Network, president, previously director. So I make sure that I'm meeting different people, and that also gives me exposure to people in the company. So when it's time for me to look for a different role, I can ask about, hey, I see you're in this team or you were on this team, how is this manager? And that way you're now having a different network of people who can either advocate for you or to say, hey, don't go to that team. That's probably not the right place for you. So those are the big things that you can have with your network. And another thing that I touched on in there was to make sure that you're doing things that make you happy. We spend so much of our time and our lives at work. If you think about it, you only have the weekends off usually. So you literally spend most of your life at work. Do not stay somewhere that you're not happy. And that can be, you don't like your role, you don't like what you're doing, you don't like the company. Figure out what makes you happy and make a pivot if you need to. Obviously try to figure out how to make things work. But if you're constantly getting tension when you're going into the office, when you're having meetings, pivot. I always encourage people to not stay somewhere because of money. I know it's easy to stay, especially in this economy, but it's not worth your health. So I always encourage people to do things that make you happy. And if you're happy, all things will come together.